Welcome everyone. I'm Justina Nielsen, and in this episode, welcome you to accelerate to profit with virtual events, grow your list, network, and finally profit. And today I have a very special guest. I'm so excited to meet you, Lee Midlane. Welcome. Hello.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm super delighted to be here.
Yeah, if you guys are not familiar with Lee yet, you'll get to know her because she'll be talking today about confident on camera. But Lee has an amazing history I would love to find out more about. The story goes from a chocolatier to a video educator and podcaster, and then starting an IT business course. How do you get there? I invited you here today because we all know as business owners, we told video is the next big thing, right? As you mentioned, we're told about Reels on Instagram, TikTok. For this purpose, summits, opt-in videos. Video has become huge, as everyone knows. And Lee takes the guesswork out of it. She's the owner of IT Central, located in Scotland, and has recently launched a video production academy. We'll have all the links for her website and all the important social media links on her page, so you can connect with her there. Now, Lee is a lot of fun. We just had some and has an extensive experience within media, education, and business. His specialty is editing, although she also describes herself as an all-rounded business owner and just all-rounded. In business, she specializes in development, strategy, and marketing. I want to know more about that. That's something I do. Of course, her passion is to help tech-stressed business owners create videos for their business. Tech-stressed, I hear that a lot. That makes sense. Welcome again. Please tell me more about yourself. How did you start out on this journey? How did you get to this point of being all this?
Do you know, it's not something that you would class as a direct career path. You know, when I was at school, the careers teacher didn't say, I know what you should do, this is where you should go. So I actually did media production at college when I was 16, and it was the very first year that it was offered. So it wasn't something that I was planning to do. It wasn't like a lifelong ambition, but I did it at college, and then I went on and did it as a degree at university. Mm-hmm. And I went from there to actually teaching. I did my teaching qualification straight away. And I was teaching video production. And so at the age of 22, I was teaching a group of men all over the age of 50 how to use video cameras, because it was that time where video cameras were everywhere. It was the big thing, and everybody's dad and granddad had one. So I was doing leisure courses through the local college where I was teaching guys. So it really was like a baptism of fire of teaching. And then I went to teach in regular colleges for 7 years. So I went and taught 16 to 19-year-olds, which I absolutely loved that age group. They were great to work with. But I came out of that and changed location, moved from Lancashire to Manchester, and worked in elderly care for a couple of years. I know, I kind of burned out as a teacher. The colleges that I worked at were not easy to work for. Mm-hmm. So I had one class, I had 120 kids in a class. And I was expected to get them through a practical subject. And so I didn't cope with it particularly well. And a friend of mine was working in elderly care, and a job came up. And so I went for it. And that's how I ended up in elderly care. And while I was doing that, I'd always done crafts as like an extra thing. I'm a creative person. Yeah. So it was actually when I was off on maternity leave, my mum and I would make things. And then we'd go to craft fairs and sell them. And I loved that. That was so much fun. And it kind of developed, because I don't know about in the US, but certainly in the UK, the same set of people are at all the different events. So you all get to know each other.
Yes.
And one of the ladies said to me, do you know anybody that can make handmade chocolate? And I went, we'll do it. Because you know what it's like being self-employed. You go, me, and then work it out afterwards. So that's what we did, is we went, yep, that's fine. And then I started to have a look at it and went, oh, actually, this is a little bit more complicated than I gave it credit for. But being on the outskirts of Manchester, I was really blessed because there was a company there who was teaching chocolate work on the other side of Manchester. So I went and did the course to learn how to work with chocolate properly. There was people from all over the UK. There was people from like 400 or 500 miles away who traveled to do the course, and I'd gone across the city. So that's how I learned to do chocolate work.
I would say that's an entrepreneurial spirit. You just described it, right?
Oh,
you say yes, and then I'll figure it out later. That right there tells me you're an entrepreneur. Yeah, yes.
I know. We ended up relocating up into Scotland in 2005 and brought the chocolate business with us. I came up here for a job because I was still working full time as well. Mm-hmm. And so we had a chocolate business up here, and we got to just shy of 10 years and just decided enough was enough. I love where I live. I'm in Northeast Scotland. I live in a fishing village. My main city has got 20,000 people in it. My entire county has 95,000 people in it. So it's a wonderful place. We have mountains and we have forests and we have beaches, and I can see the sea from my front door.
Oh my gosh.
The flip side of that is you don't have footfall for niche products.
No.
So if I knew then what I knew now, then I could have made the business work. But I couldn't make it work then because I didn't know how to do video marketing. I didn't know how to use YouTube. We didn't have social media in the same way. And so just shy of 10 years, we decided, actually, I'm fed up with fighting for the business. And so within the space of 2 weeks, we closed the business down. My husband became my ex-husband and moved 400 miles away with my 4-year-old son.
Oh my goodness.
And I was left to close down the business by myself, which I did. And anybody that's ever closed a business down will know that it's actually a really traumatic experience. It's not something that you can underestimate.
Yeah.
But this is not a sob story. I was headhunted to manage a computer repair shop. And I thought, well, do you know, I have a technical background, with the television and radio production.
You make chocolate.
And it was like, I've had a lot of time in retail, so I should be able to learn this, because they weren't asking me to be a technician. They were asking me to run the business, to run the shop, to run the retail, and to sort of manage. So I did that for a couple of years, and the owner decided to close the business. So I was there 22 months, and he decided that his mental health wasn't very strong, and he decided it was too much and he didn't want to continue with it. And so I thought, you know what, actually, I can see there's a need for a computer repair shop in the town centre, because we need somewhere that's open, accessible, and completely trustworthy. Because my experience of computer repair places is one of three things. They're white and shiny like Apple. They are wall-to-wall slat wall, or they look like they're in somebody's garage.
Yes.
But whichever way you look at it, it's not female friendly. No. All of them are very masculine environments.
Yeah.
And I knew that I could do something that felt more boutique-y. So that's what I did, is I designed a computer shop that I would be happy to go into. Now, being on the front line in there, I get to have conversations with customers, and they come in and they go, oh, do you know, I'm completely computer illiterate. I'm so stupid when it comes to technology. And I say, well, do you know, actually, you wouldn't get in a car and expect to drive it with no lessons. You wouldn't pick up a musical instrument and expect to be proficient grade 8, if you hadn't had any lessons. And you wouldn't be able to run a marathon if you hadn't done the training. So why do you think you should be able to just lay hands on your laptop and know what to do? So from there, I knew that I wanted really to go back to my teaching roots and develop tech academies. But the way that it's different is when you go to college, they say, here's a lot of theories, now go and apply it. And what I wanted to do is say, okay, how do you need to use technology? Let's see what we need to bring in for that. So it's actually taking it as a center and then applying the techniques to that. So the first tech academy we launched June last year is the Video Production Academy. So that's how I went from being video to chocolate to IT to back into video again.
Wow. But again, it shows me, what I'm hearing is not only the entrepreneur spirit now, but your educator taking something complicated, making it simple, and also taking something that wasn't, let's say, friendly to everyone, like female friendly, and making it that. So that's a lot of marketing. I can see the branding and the strategy and marketing and all that. I love that. Okay, so you're now made chocolate. You're now a shop owner, successful. I assume it was a big hit because I'm sure it was very unique.
With the chocolate work, it was a little bit unusual, say, because where we were located didn't have a high footfall.
I'm sorry, I meant with your shop because you made it.
Oh, with the IT business.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was still stuck on chocolate. Fancy being stuck on chocolate. It's the thing people always want to know about, because when you say you were a chocolatier, they go, really? Tell me more about this.
I know.
Yeah, it's an odd thing because with the computer repair shop, you look at it and go, we're still a micro business because we have a team of 6 people. There's 5,000 computer repair shops in the UK. And I can guarantee that actually we're probably one of the biggest because most of them run with 1 or 2 people and we've got 6. So it's an interesting thing. So it's about perspective. So as a micro business, actually you can make great waves. You can have an impact.
I love that.
You can be a change maker. You can be a change maker if there's just you, but you can make a difference. But you have to get out of your comfort zone to do it.
Yes, you have to get out of the comfort zone and do it. Hope everyone's listening to this. I love this. Yes, this is what we're doing today. So then what? Then what happened? You're a podcaster and video educator?
Well, the funny thing was, having done television and radio production, I do the editing. I'm an audio editor, I'm a video editor, I'm a behind the scenes person, I can run camera, so I can do all that. But then I found that actually, as a female CEO, owner, founder of an IT business, I'm in this very tiny minority.
Yes.
Because there's less than 40% of IT jobs are taken by women, and most of them tend to be in the software side of things. I don't know anybody who's in the position that I'm in, leading a business that's effectively the garage end of IT. We fix things, we upgrade things, we also sell new, but we're very much the repair end of it. And I had a responsibility to show up for my business. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is a different ballgame. I've spent 30 years avoiding being on camera. There are no photographs of me from being 15 onwards because I don't like being on camera. And I come from Northwest England. I have really flat vowels. So I have a Lancashire accent. And it's always really funny because when I talk to people in the US, they just go, I thought you were Scottish. And it's not, it's a Lancashire accent. And I looked at it and went, I don't like how I look. I don't like how I sound. Nobody else is going to want to see me or hear me. So I'd avoided being on camera, and I come to this conclusion of, oh my goodness, I need to show up for my business, and that means being on camera. I was like, oh my days. Now, I don't know if you've done Myers-Briggs, but I'm an INFJ, which means I'm an introvert, thinker, and feeler. And if there was an introvert scale, I would fall off the end of it. I can't speak in a room of people I know.
Here you are.
Alone, so introverted. And it's like, oh my goodness, I have to show up for my business. What do I do? So I did a Facebook Live. I was red. I looked like a beetroot. I was sweating. I had palpitations. I had a complete physical response to being on camera. Hated it.
Wow.
But I knew that it was something that I needed to do. So I got my big girl pants on and I went, I'm going to go live for 30 days straight. So I did a lot of reading and research and things as well. So I didn't just go, I'm doing this. I read into it and I researched and I said, I'm going to do this. And over probably day 3 to 4, I stopped trying to make it perfect and I relaxed and I went, oh, I get it. And so what I've done is just basically continue to put myself out of my comfort zone to the point now where I started a podcast in May of this year. And I've interviewed.
What is your podcast?
It's the Video Production Academy podcast. And I interview business owners who tell the story of how they use video in the business. Because it's very much a case of if they can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And so that's what it's all about. And then next year, we're transitioning it more to people who have skills to share. So it'd be more educational, more teaching. So it'll be like storytelling or using TikTok or using Reels. So we're going to transition across into that. But I ended up doing this podcast as well. I have a YouTube channel. I'm recording courses. So now I spend half my life on screen.
Wow.
I'm still scared in a room of people. I did a workshop for a group of 30 ladies a couple of weeks ago, and my knees were shaking all the way through. So that, that one I've not conquered yet, but being on camera, I can do all day long.
Wow. I want to be that confident one day. So yes, I believe you. I believe if you can do it from chocolatier and IT to being confident on camera and teaching others. I believe this is why I invited you. I'm so excited that you get to teach us. Please tell us more. What do you get to teach us today? What is the topic and what do we walk away with?
Okay, so the number one issue that I find with people, there's three issues. So tech stress, they're scared of the technology.
Yes, we should start with that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
They're budget averse. They don't want to spend any money. And then the last thing is they are completely camera shy. And so what I wanted to do was to provide training that really tackles that. So the thing that I want to get people to do is actually be more camera confident. So I've got some really simple strategies for people to use to actually get them going, to get the ball rolling. Now, I have to say, it's not a magic wand. You have to do the work and you have to be prepared to put yourself out of your comfort zone. 1 second. My dogs have just come in the room. Apologies.
It's okay. My cats are somewhere causing trouble. The thing I think that stopped being a thing when the pandemic happened and anchors were in the houses and they had babies and cats behind them.
Dogs just wander past. So so you have to do the work and you have to be prepared to put yourself out of your comfort zone because that's where the best growth happens. So it's really important to do that. But having said that, there's some really simple strategies and actionable tips that you can put into practice now. It's not going to cost you anything. It's resources you already have. And we're very much about using the resources that you have. So if you've got a smartphone or a web camera on your laptop, you have everything you need to make a start. Now, obviously, at a later stage, you can invest in things. So I have a ring light. And because I'm a glasses wearer, I can't have a ring light directly in front of me because I end up with donut eyes. So mine's 7 foot up. I've got a halo. So I still use a ring light and that's how I light it. So I don't get my glasses. So it's little things like that.
I've had that problem. You just sold that for me because I've had that in the past. That I had the ring light. So it's just a matter of being high up. Yes.
Higher up. So it's really simple things. So a ring light's like $30, but it makes a huge difference to how professional your video can be. I use a studio mic. It was actually my son's. He gave it to me. It didn't cost me a bean. There was no cost to it. But actually the audio recording on smartphones, if you're quite close, is really very good. So make sure that you're in a room that's not too big. It's not got high ceilings, doesn't have ceramic floors. Could actually be you have a closet that works. So you create that environment where your audio is fine. And so you can just use your smartphone if that's what you've got. Now, you're in my home studio at the moment, which is 7 foot by 5 foot, and it's at the end of my bedroom and cost me about £100 to put together.
Wow.
So there's so much that you can do just by thinking outside of the box just a little bit and just reusing different things. So I have a really beautiful wall hanging of butterflies behind me. That's actually covering up a really ugly door. I already had it. I had this wall hanging and I went, that will work for there. You have to be really careful with what's in your frame as well, because the very first podcast I went on, I didn't get told until we were getting ready to go on, oh, by the way, I'm live streaming the video to LinkedIn, YouTube and Facebook. Ooh. So I kind of went, fine, what could possibly go wrong? Remember, first podcast, having come from the background of having palpitations with being on camera. So I'm about 20 minutes in, I'm fine, I know my subject, I'm okay. And at the time, I was actually working downstairs because it was just at the beginning of the pandemic. And so my temporary office was my dining table in my kitchen.
Yeah, relate.
Oh, I'm talking and I can see in the frame and I look over my shoulder and I think, oh my days, there's a bra on the radiator. Now it was folded up, so you couldn't tell what it was. It's just neatly folded material.
Okay.
But I knew what it was. And I'm like, oh, he's going to take me off camera in a minute and I'll remove it. And he didn't take me off camera for an hour. And I was just getting redder and redder and redder. And I'm like, oh, that's so bad. And of course, nobody's going to know, but I knew. So be
Yeah.
very careful what's in your frame.
So you're
Because
confident.
so you can be confident in so many different elements. So you can be confident in
Yeah.
yourself. You
Yeah.
can be confident in your voice. So
Yeah.
say that I have an accent that I didn't particularly like. I've spoken to so many people around the world now, and when I say that, they go, "Really? I love your accent." So it's a different thing, and the things that you feel hold you back are actually the things that will endear you to somebody else. So you can be confident in yourself, confident in your voice, confident in your space. And the reason that I set up the studio is because I'm a great procrastinator. So what would happen? I'd go, I need to do a video, but I've got to set everything up. So
Yes.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Yes, relate. Yes. Oh, but I have to do this and this and this and this. Okay, tomorrow.
I've got to clean the car. I've got to take the dog for a walk.
Well, and it's like
I've got to do everything.
Like I sometimes I have to do makeup, and then I have to find the right shirt, and then wait, something's in the background. Like there's just stuff that I make up that I have to do, but I know it's just my mindset, right?
Yeah. So what I did was set up this studio space. Like I say, it's at the end of my bedroom, and all I have to do is plug my laptop in. So I've got 3 cables to plug in, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So that way I took out that self-objection to go, I can't make a video today because I have no excuse. So it's little things like that that make a huge amount of difference. Easy. And then like editing, just simple basic editing takes your video from being unprofessional to being professional. Adding a title, adding an ending, being able to add closed captions, because more than 85% of video is watched without audio on. So people have to read what's going on. So there's so many little things that you can add in that are not complicated and not expensive, but actually makes you have the ability to show up as the star that you are, because people need to hear your message. You have a message to tell others. And actually, if you don't do it, you're doing a disservice because they need you.
Thank you. Yeah.
So if I can help people to get out there and make a start, then, you know, it's a big thing. And I always say to people, watch your videos back and keep watching them back until you stop cringing, because you will. I mean, the first time you hear yourself, you go, oh, is that me? Oh, that's awful.
I know.
But if you watch it often enough, you desensitize yourself to it. And then you can actually give yourself constructive feedback. Because what you can do then is say, oh, actually, do you know what? My energy ran out after a couple of minutes. I need to refilm that because actually I went flat. Or, you know, you can look at it constructively and realize what you need to do. And you can see when you've done a good job and go, that worked. I like that.
That worked. Yeah, I love that. Yes. So do you teach all that? Like, for example, I want to have captions in my videos, but I think I've tried like 3 times Googling it, and then I kind of gave up because it seems techie. It's just so much. I just want someone to like make it easy. You promise it's easy?
I make it easy. That's my job. I make it easy. It's about finding the right tools for the job.
Yeah.
So it's about finding the right software. So I use a particular piece of software that does it automatically. Now, it's a fairly new piece of software. It's called Descript. And it's really clever because what a lot of video professionals will tell you is you've got to use Premiere Pro, or you've got to use Final Cut. And they'll tell you things that are probably industry standard. But do you know what? You don't need to use anything that's that complicated. So this software that I use, what it will do is when you upload a video, it will do a transcription of the audio. So especially if you're doing like a webinar or a course, it's very wordy. And what it does is provide something that's effectively like a Word document. You edit the Word document and it edits the video, which is super clever and super easy. And then it's got other different functions in there. So I use this for my podcast. So I save it once as a video, and that's what goes to YouTube. I save it once as audio, and that's what goes out on the RSS feed. But then it's just literally clicking a button. I save something called an SRT file. And what that is you can then upload that to YouTube, and it will provide closed captions. But you can also do things like add what they call fancy captions in. So that gives you the text on the screen.
Yeah, those are.
So
What is it called?
Descript, Descript.
Oh yeah, and what about the captions? Fancy scrap?
Fancy captions.
Fancy. Okay.
Fancy captions. So, I mean, there's a learning curve to using the software, but I can guarantee if you sat down and used Microsoft Word for the very first time today, or Excel, or Google Docs, you'll be like, hang on a minute, I need to work this out. There's that head scratch moment of saying, okay,
Yeah.
I know I need to get somewhere, but how do I do it? And it's just, we're back to that comfort zone thing again. It's just about saying, no, I am going to learn how to do this. I will conquer it, and I'm going to get out of my comfort zone to do it, because technology is a tool, not a barrier.
Yeah.
So
And it's not about me, right? Like it's about the people who I get to serve with the message.
Exactly, 100%.
Get out of the wrong way.
People are just waiting to love you. They
Yeah.
really are just waiting to connect with you and to hear what you have to say. Now, personally, I'm not a makeup wearer. I have sensitive skin, and if I do eye makeup, my eyes itch, and panda's not a good look. So my choice is actually to not wear makeup very often. And that's my choice. Now, I have a friend who works in theatre, and she's actually paler than I am, and she couldn't be seen without makeup and eyelashes. She has to do her lashes and her lippy every day, because that's what makes her feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So it's about finding what works for you.
Yeah. It's your brand too, I mean, I think it's about being consistent, really, right? So what I wouldn't want is seeing you with lots of makeup on Facebook and then on video you show up without, or the other way, because I'm like, who is this? So there's some dissonance when you don't see. I think as long as you're yourself, you're authentic, and you're consistent, like it's not the image. And sometimes it's the audience that you serve too, right?
Yeah.
So you show up in a full-blown theater makeup, but you're serving tired moms who are like, I'll never look like that. That's not relatable. Like, I barely put on a lipstick once a week, So there's a lot of that. I love that. Yeah, just be yourself, be authentic. It's not about you, I'm hearing. And tech can be easy, not a barrier, but a tool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I can absolutely rock the tired mum look. I've got that down to a T.
And when we started today, I put on some mascara and all of a sudden I rubbed it and then my eyes are watering up this entire thing. I'm like, we're doing it anyway. Next time, I'm going to skip the mascara. So I feel you. But you look great. And, it's more about the message, right?
Absolutely.
Being relatable,
100%.
being authentic. And that. So I also know that you have a gift for our audience. What is everyone getting today? Like, I'm being Oprah.
Well, I was always taught it was rude to show up with empty hands. So what I have is the world's shortest video summit. So what this is 40 business owners had 60 seconds to give their number one video tip. So it's been described as like the TikTok of summits. And the idea was really for it to just be very fast paced. And I can tell you, it's a tough challenge. Anybody that's done video and has been restricted on time will know 60 seconds isn't very long. And so we created this, and the business owners are from all different walks of life, from all around the world, from all different industries. But there's some real gold in there as well. And at the end of the day, if there's a tip you didn't like, you've only wasted 60 seconds, so it's great.
That's true. And really, is it wasted?
No,
you always learn something, you just might not be applicable, right? But I love that. And still, that's great. Thank you so much. That's so nice. I love that. 40 different ways. So must be at least one or two or three that will work for me. That's all I really need.
I would say there's lots more than that, because they're people that are not videographers. I think there's 3 of us in there that have a video background. So there's 37 that don't. So these are people who are coaches, who are in the health space. There's all different things, and they're saying how video works for them and what their tip is that works for them. Yeah. So that's why it's important, because it's not me telling you what it is. It's people that are your
just
peers.
Like us. Yeah, just
exactly.
Like me. Yeah. If they can do it, I can do it. I love it. Sounds both motivational and educational. Thank you so much. And I know, like, you're so knowledgeable. I would love for everyone who wants to build their own summit or virtual event, was interested in showing up on video. And as we talked about, it's pretty much anywhere. It's a virtual event summit. It can be a Facebook Live, Instagram Reel, TikTok, like videos everywhere. I would love for them to learn from you, like how to get there, right? And get out of their own way and make the tech easy. So do you have a special offer for those who are interested in being taught by you?
Absolutely. So we're just getting going with this, so it's early days. But I have a course that I've created, and it's called Be Camera Confident, Get Over Your Fear of Being on Camera. We say it's the number one issue. Now, there's 6 modules that's in this course. It's confident start, confident self, confident voice, confident space, confident video, and confident finish. So you can see confidence works all the way through.
Yeah.
So it's all about making it so you're confident, your body language, the way that you speak, how to create your message, how to script, how to light properly. So it's like a mini video production, but it's all based around the confidence element of it. So yes, we have that available for people.
Yay, thank you. All the links will be on Lee's page. So go ahead and connect with her, her podcast, her YouTube channel, her website, and the gift and the special offer will be on there. And any parting words for people who are about to put on their first summit, and I know you have done a few or many, any final parting word of advice?
Take your time. Be prepared, and when you're recording it, record everything in one go, because you'll never get the lighting or your clothes or things exactly the same way a second time. So you're likely not going to get it right first time, and that's fine. In film, people will maybe do 50 takes to get something right, so don't expect to get it right first time. But if you make a mistake, stop, take a breath, and then go back to the beginning of that section and then carry on. Because when you come to edit it, it's really easy to take that chunk out. So make it easy for yourself.
I like it. So you don't worry if you don't get it in one shot.
You won't get it in one shot. Yeah. If the pros in Hollywood can't get it in one shot, we're not going to manage it, are we?
I think that's been my mindset, because it's only like, the summit Upton video is only like a minute or so. So I was thinking like one shot, I must get it in one shot. This is so helpful. Thank you.
No, it's one of those things that, we are our own worst critic, and we need to give ourselves grace to do what we're doing. Because at the end of the day, and I count myself in this as well, I am not a trained presenter. I didn't go to university to learn to be in front of the camera. I'm lots and lots of different things within business, but that's not what I trained to do. So I have to give myself grace to still be learning my craft. And I think I will always be learning my craft.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope that I will always be learning, right?
Oh, it'd be boring if you weren't.
If it starts being boring, then you just move on to a different. You'll be making something else. We know you're capable, from chocolate to IT to on camera.
Well, that's it. If you're an entrepreneur, there is 4 words that strike fear and dread to those closest to you, and it's "I've got an idea."
Oh yes.
The people around go, "Oh, I'm going to get work to do."
That is so true. Oh my God. Yes, that is so true. I love that. It's been such a pleasure to meet you and have you here on our show, Accelerate to Profit through Virtual Events. We invite everyone to check out Lee, all the links, and follow up with her. Send her an email, just get in touch with her. She's a wealth of knowledge, and as you can see, super fun. Thank you so much again. Lovely to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Quick introduction. I'm Lee from the Video Production Academy, where we help tech-stressed business owners create videos for their business so that you can feel confident on camera and connect effectively with your audience. I'm all about helping you to be more confident on camera. So way back in the last millennia, I went to college and university and I studied media studies, television and radio production. My speciality was audio and video editing, so I worked in both video and radio. The technology has changed and working with video is now accessible to nearly everyone. You only need a smartphone or a laptop to get going. So, on to the interesting part. The goal is to break you free from the fear of being on camera. This way, you'll never have to worry about how to show up on screen again, which means you'll be able to create video content easily and efficiently. Anytime you're trying to build your confidence for presenting, it's inevitable you'll hit roadblocks, and you might have experienced some of them already. Things like not liking how you look, not liking your accent or maybe your voice. Well, here's what I know to be true. If any of this sounds familiar, it's totally normal. But if you simply accept this at face value, you'll never show up as the star you are. And I know where you're coming from. I get that it feels like some of this is out of your hands. It's frustrating to come up against these things again and again, and I've been there myself, and I've seen other business owners go through the same thing. And it's especially stressful because you know that getting past these challenges are key in helping you build your business. So I'm going to make it easy for you. I'll help you avoid these usual headaches by showing you the simple steps I follow to relax and be confident on camera, which will save you lots of frustration and maybe a few grey hairs. Videos are everywhere. They're on your Facebook feed, your Instagram wall. They also come up in search engine results. They're on your website, your course materials, and of course, your entertainment. As a video educator and a business owner, I know that video is a powerful way to reach people, and being on camera regularly solidifies your connection with your audience. That's why our positioning statement as an organisation is that we help tech-stressed business owners to create videos for their business so that they can feel confident on camera and effectively connect with their audience. People buy in to people. When we have a video showing faces, we generally achieve 4 times the reach than if we show something that is graphics or product based. Are you ready to up your content game with videos? Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Creating videos can be frustrating. There's a learning curve and you may not be pleased with your results at first. You'll record something, look at it, and then make the mistake of comparing your videos to what other people are creating on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. What you have to remember is those same people, those ones with millions of followers today, had to start at 0 too. Every expert starts off as a beginner, so my advice, get started. I've got a few questions for you to ponder as we get going. Have you created videos before? Were they live or pre-recorded? Be honest. What did you think of your results? And did it put you off trying again? In 2021, we ran a content creation bootcamp for business owners. They all understood the power of using video to spread their messages, but they didn't know how to generate ideas for content that would have a positive impact on their business. By simply signing up for the Content Creation Bootcamp, they made learning a priority. The students who continued making videos after the session tell me that the videos are growing their email lists, creating connections, and producing sales. They made the commitment to start and it's paying off. It's about being consistent and persistent. Having the right type of equipment used to be a big problem. In my first media roles, many years ago, I remember carrying a £50 camera on shoots and then having to go back to get a £25 tripod. Those days are long gone. Start with what you have. Much like creating a minimum viable product, your video process begins by creating videos as simply as possible. Work your way up as you get more comfortable and you see the response your videos get. Here's a brief outline of the big 3 then, that is equipment, lighting and sound. Equipment first. Video equipment doesn't have to be intimidating. Use the camera sitting right next to you, the smartphone, the laptop, or the point and shoot camera that has a video feature, so you have what you need to make a start. There are entire industries devoted to camera, lights and microphones, and you can definitely invest in more expensive equipment. But the purpose of this course is to help you get started using video, and it really doesn't have to cost a lot. Lighting next. Good lighting makes you look like $1 million, but you don't have to spend anywhere close to that. I'm a big fan of using natural light. If you shoot videos indoors, sit by a window where the light hits you from the front or from the side. Make sure the light isn't behind you because it will wash you out and you become a silhouette. I definitely recommend investing in a ring light if you can. They're about $30 on Amazon and can help you look amazing on camera. Many of them include a phone holder in the middle of the light, so that means you don't need a tripod as well. But if you're a glasses wearer like me, you can still use a ring light. Now, if I have a ring light directly in front of me, you see a reflection in my glasses. But if you raise it up higher and point it forward, it will still light you, but without the reflection. And then the third one is sound. Sound quality is every bit as important as your video quality. It makes sense. If people can't clearly hear what you're saying, your content won't be as engaging as it could be. Record your videos in a quiet space. High ceilings or ceramic floors increase the chances of an echo, so look for a smaller space that has carpeted floor. Your closet could even work to produce a good sound. If noise is still an issue, invest in a microphone. You can plug it into your phone or get a USB connection that runs to your laptop. In my home studio I use a Blue Snowball mic, and in the workshop I use a Blue Yeti mic at the moment. The other mics that we use a lot are the Rode Go mics, which are wireless and are great for work away from the studio. In your videos, just as in the copy you write, it's important to address the person you want to reach, whether it's a tween boy or an adult gardening enthusiast. A tween boy is likely going to be interested in Minecraft videos, while an adult gardening enthusiast would prefer a tutorial on how to grow basil. You can tell I'm not a gardener. Your topics and goals are going to be different depending on your audience. Are you trying to reach the owner of a technology company, the buyer of a retail chain, or a stay-at-home mum? Focus on sharing something that person is struggling with, followed by a solution you offer. Then highlight the transformation that occurs. While you may be nervous, it's important to remember that the video is not about you. The audience is more focused on learning a solution to their problem than what you're wearing, really. Videos help you create connections because you're able to share your personality. You don't need to fit a mold to be successful on camera. You don't have to be anybody but yourself. In this day and age, when Facebook and Instagram feeds are filled with videos sharing all kinds of messages, the only thing that makes you different is you. Before you get your voice out there though, it's important to practice. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I've seen too many people who don't sound like themselves on camera because they are so nervous. Some take deep breaths and relax. Maybe play some songs that pump you up. Think going into the ring like Rocky. Or use a power stance before you hit record. You should see the first Facebook Lives I did. They were awful, and that's why you're never going to see them. I think it's really important to desensitize yourself to what you look like and how you sound. So watch your videos and you will stop feeling cringy. If I did, you will. What I decided to do was a baptism of fire. I decided to go live for 30 days straight, so I did. After about day 3 or 4, I stopped caring so much. I stopped trying to make it perfect. I relaxed and it got easier. I went from having full-scale nerves, red face, palpitations, to being able to function, and over time it became something that I'm now completely comfortable with. In order to get better, you need to do what I call practice for real. It means practicing in an environment where the result is final. Create a small Facebook group and go live inside there. It could just be you in the group, or you may choose to include select people for feedback. It's a great way to practice in a safe environment. Or put together a video that is live to tape, meaning even though the video is not broadcast live, it's the final version no matter what's on that recording. By putting yourself in a situation that forces your brain to say, this is the real deal, I have to be on, you'll be mentally ready to rock your video. Don't say good morning or good afternoon, say hello. Don't give an indication of what time of day it is, what day it is, or even the time of year. That way you can repurpose the video at some point in the future, even potentially making them evergreen. Send the video you create to your business bestie no matter what, and put constraints on your time. Instead of telling yourself you have 2 hours to create your video, give yourself 10 minutes. Even better, schedule a meeting and try and get the recording done before you have to leave the house. That video will get done. Make eye contact with the camera, talk to it like you're talking to a single person. This is where you really start to get out of your comfort zone. Remember, you've made a commitment to do this. I'm on your side and I know you can do this. People often get discouraged by how much work goes into the process of making a video. Sometimes it means they don't even get to the starting line, and for others it means they peter out after the enthusiasm fades. But remember this, If you are sharing information that you know serves your audience, if your intentions are true, if you create a message with impact, then you have nothing to worry about, and it's a disservice to keep your message to yourself. And don't look at the numbers when you're on a live. Most people watch on replay, and even if no one turns up, it's still great practice. So I have a question for you. I want you to get clear about the impact it will have on your business, your life, the lives of your family, and those around you. I'd like you to write down what being confident on camera will do for you, what impact it will have. I'm just looking for one sentence, not anything longer. For me, showing up on camera means that I represent my business. I can let other people know if I can do it, you can do it. On a practical level, it means that my business will continue to grow and thrive. I can employ people and impact their lives. And the ultimate goal for me is to have a house that's big enough for my family. I have 3 kids. They're 26, 25 and 13, but they all have additional support needs, and they're all still at home, and I would love to have somewhere that suits all of us. Once you have this statement, put it somewhere where you will be filming, so each time you start to struggle or procrastinate, you know that thing where even doing the dishes is more appealing? You can remember why you're doing this. Just by learning what we've covered today, you're one step closer to your ultimate goal. You want to design, build and grow your business, and you and I both know it's so much more than that, because it means you'll have amazing content and amazing relationships with your customers and no overwhelm, and that's what really matters. So take what you've learned here today and start putting it into practice. The key thing is to get moving. Now, for those of you that have done Facebook Lives before, how difficult is it to press that button? Nerves. And then there's that pause. Are we live? Are we not live? So this is a practical exercise I want you to do. The best way to start a Facebook Live, in my opinion, is to say who you are, where you're from, and to briefly cover what you're going to be talking about or showing on the live. And remember, you have to be a little bit more animated on camera, but don't overdo it, as the screen is two-dimensional, so you lose a lot of your energy. So I would maybe say, hey, I'm Lee Midlane from IT Central, home of the Video Production Academy. I'm so glad that you've managed to join us today. And if you're watching on replay, be sure to put #replay in the comments so I don't miss you. In today's live, we're going to look at the different elements of how to be confident on camera, what impact it can have, and some practical tips on how you can do this too. Fire any questions into the chat and I'll answer them towards the end of the session. The way I would remember to do this is to have it on post-it notes around my screen. Now, I don't necessarily do all the hellos as people pop on, as it's not good watching for those watching the replay, but you can also include a bit where you say, pop in the comments who you are and where you're from so I can give you a shout out, which works especially well if you can already see that there's people watching. Get all the shout outs done together, then get on with your live and then head back to the comments at the end. This introduction gives people time to get on the live and also gives you a confident start. I use a piece of software called StreamYard, which is free to use and will help you put up comments, share your screen and put up banners as well. So I think this takes away a lot of the overwhelm. Remember, you can practice using this in your Facebook practice group. So let's draw this all together then. Being on camera, creating videos is amazing for your business because you'll build relationships with your audience and making that transition to becoming a customer so much easier. It's not a comfortable process. No one likes how they sound straight away, but if you watch your videos back, you'll get much more comfortable. This desensitizing will help you be critical in the right ways to improve your videos. This is a 5-step process which will help you be more confident on camera, and it'll help you with your video strategy as well. So number 1, make the commitment. Put your big girl pants on and be prepared to get out of your comfort zone. That's where most of your growth happens, and when you grow, you give your business the potential to grow as well. Number 2, use what you have. If you only have a smartphone, then use a smartphone. If you only have your laptop, then go with that. You can make improvements later, but you just have to get it going. Number 3, master your message. Don't try and wing it. That's a recipe for a disaster, or at the very least, waffle and unhelpful tangents. Go fully scripted or bullet points on sticky notes, but know what you're going to say before you press record. And practice makes confident. You are not going to be perfect the first time you create a video, but practice, 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 and it will get easier. Make it so the process is real. Create your own Facebook group of one so you can watch your videos back. And do reach out to others so you can receive constructive feedback. You are likely your own worst critic. And number 5, don't get discouraged. Like any skill, there's a learning curve and quite often a messy middle where the enthusiasm of starting off has dwindled and the level of expertise you're striving for is not yet attained. Keep going. If I can do it, you can do it. I started off not being able to speak in a room of people I knew, let alone be on camera. I now have a global audience. I create my own videos and I appear on other people's stages too. And finally, a little word on strategy. Determine the purpose of your marketing. Is it to promote a product or build your brand? Make sure you're focused on this purpose. Post 4 types of content consistently. Your story, credibility, engagement, and monster thread. Story is sharing behind the scenes, stories or pics. Credibility is stuff like testimonials about your reviews. Engagement is where you get followers to respond to questions. And monster thread is a series stretched out over multiple posts. Do these 4 things consistently every week and you will see your audience grow. They don't all have to be videos, but video content is king and only set to grow. I know you can do this and I'm excited to see the impact video will make on your business. Of course, this is only the start of the journey. If you'd like to learn more, to go into more depth and even be more confident on camera, I have a course that I think would be just perfect for you. Be Camera Conf Get Over Your Fear of Being on Camera is a 6-module course and here's what it covers. Module 1, Confident Start. Much like this course, we work through what the aims of the course are and look at the transformations that you can achieve. I make sure you know how to get the most out of the course and how to navigate the resources. Module number 2 then is Confident Self. This is where we take you from being camera shy to camera confident. You will know what your inner critic is and how to make friends with them and understand what it means to flip the switch and how that will make a difference in your camera presence. And finally, you will know what it means to look your best on camera, both in terms of self-presentation and body language, including a little colour psychology. Module 3, Confident Voice. You'll know the importance of positioning yourself as an authority, including knowing what to talk about. We work through how to prepare your message, including pitching, and how to connect with your audience. You will understand how your voice, accent and tone are your superpowers and master breathing exercises, techniques and posture and know how this will make a difference to your confidence and presentation. Module number 4 is Confident Space. We investigate how to create a studio space at different budget points, starting from no budget at all. In addition, we go into more detail on the different elements of camera, lighting and sound. Module number 5 is Confident Video. In this module, we'll look at how to make the most of the videos you create, which includes knowing what a house style is and how to create one for your business. You'll also learn the basics of video editing using the Descript software, and the concepts remain the same even if you use a different editing software. We look at the difference between landscape and portrait video orientations and when to use which. You will also learn how to use graphics and music to give your videos a professional edge and how to create captions and SRT files so you can add subtitles to your videos on different platforms. Module number 6, the last module, is Confident Finish. We recap and summarise the previous modules and investigate what the next steps could be on your video creation journey. So your action task today. There's absolutely no pressure, but I would love it if you would continue your journey with us. As you've done so well with this course, I'd like to give you a gift voucher against the purchase of the Be Camera Confident course. Go and be confident on camera and shoot for the moon.